So when you enable Auto DJ on your account, you'll be able to see a certain special DJ here that automatically plays songs that are already inside your files. Right now we have the 21 Savage here that is loaded. Play this now. We'll play that real shortly. And that right straight there lets you know the song is processed in the playlist. Now you go back to playlist. Now you see the duration of it. 4 minutes and 16 seconds. Now that, since I put it on all music, it's in here. But now that you want it in your actual playlist, also, you can select it from over here. You go into the actual add files, which is the plus symbol. You're going to slide over here to air it out nudie, and you can press add selected files to playlist, or you can create a subfolder or remove the selected file from actually the server. Creating a subfolder makes an alternative folder so you can organize your tracks. So now we're in DJs. It's going to show is the DJ active. You can enable it and not enable it. The name of the DJ, the image or logo he can put, his port number, password, is he connected, is he on air, and what he's actually playing. We only have one song on here, 21 Savage, so that's what he's playing. You can also edit the DJ. We can edit the Auto DJ guy, change his name, but he's always active. You can never make him inactive, the Auto DJ. So, want to make a new DJ, we simply press add DJ. We can choose any image of our liking. Choose Bob Marley. And it's going to be DJ X. I'm just going to create a DJ. Create a password. And add a DJ. Now that the DJ is there, you can see his port, his password, information will select here. Once he is created, you want to go back and press edit. Edit is going to show you his connection parameters. The connection parameters let him connect remotely. That's what DJs outside of your Auto DJ does. It lets you connect remotely to your radio server. You can use a lot of different connections. Radio Boss, Sam Broadcaster, and Winamp. We do show the settings automatically on your server and on your interface. You also can use like your butt system, or you can also use virtual DJ. Either one of these options are acceptable. Every program has their own parameters, but all information you should be able to pull from here. How to go live will be showing in a separate video using some of these broadcasters. So the relay system. Relay system is you can pull outside radio feeds directly to your station. This is under construction, so I'll still explain this for you. So you do have the name. Is it active? Relay server, the URL of it. Is it connected? Is it on air? And what is actually playing? So you press add relay. You want to create the name of it. You can just use one of our stations that I have. Make sure it's active. So you will type that in and you'll simply just add the relay. So what you do is add an actual server relay right there. I'm going to actually just relay something back to ourselves. Don't have one currently. So we're going to just put one in there for now. And since it is the same thing, you're going to see it's playing the same song. Air it out. And that will load shortly after it pulls the information. There you go. And that relay will relay whatever server you are putting in. So we're going to move over to our jingles, which is known as our commercials. Jingles, click here, the jingles tab, and slide over to jingles. You can see the type. Does it interrupt playing tracks? Does it save the history? The metadata, custom, title meta, the duration of the jingle, and the actual jingle. So when you create a jingle, you get a couple options here. So you can do a random jingle, or you can actually select one from the files, which you can add later. And the type of jingle you want, it could be hourly, daily, between tracks, before listeners' requests, or at the playlist start. You can also choose a playlist to make it start. So if it starts at the playlist, it'll give you a playlist to actually choose. Before listeners' request, this is something you want to update. Like this is a request from one of our hometown listeners. Things like that you will actually use at this point for that thing. Between tracks, this is what you probably want to use for commercials. Every so and so tracks from 1 to 100, you can play an actual jingle or commercial. Here's a daily jingle or a daily promotion. You can play at one time a day. You can mix it from different jingles at certain times, and you can do it every hour or every minute on an hour. However you want to do it. You can interrupt the track or not. You can save it. If disabled jingle will show up during played tracks. If you disable it, it will not show up. Most people don't want it showing up, but if you do have a special promotion that you're promoting, you want to do that. You can also edit what actually does show up during that jingle during that time if you do select that. So we're going to move on to files. Files is pretty straightforward. You're going to be doing the same thing. You can click the box. You can upload a jingle, any jingle you want, or commercial or ad or any promotion, and simply press upload. Same options here. File will load up here. Create subfolders, remove, clear. Groups. So a jingle group is you can add, let's say your radios. You can select a bunch of jingles. So let's create one so I can show you an example. So let's create a jingle. So we create a jingle. We're just going to put a file here. Let's put a random song, guys. The famous Dax. We're going to use him as a jingle. So you upload him or whatever jingle you have. So now when we go back to edit the jingle, you can play a random one. You want to mix it up. You can show the level that it actually goes to. So now what we're going to do is, while it's processing, we're going to go over the groups. So now you can add a group of jingles. So we're going to call this one Yo Rado's group of jingles. Once you create some jingles, it's actually going to give us some options. There's 0 jingles in there. Once this is done processing, everything will happen. So next we'll go over to Jingle Block. Jingle Blocks is when you can add a jingle. We just go to New Radio and an actual block. See, starting jingle from random jingle from block, so you can start a jingle to do different things at different times of the day. So a new jingle block, New Radio. We can choose a playlist also, but what you can do is actually choose a random track or actual track from a song. You can do an ending jingle and a starting jingle. Ending jingles and starting jingles are good for podcasters or shows if they have an intro and an ending of the actual broadcast. That's most likely what this one is for. It's endings, and or you have a special playlist like the new at 2, and you have a special opening, a special ending for that, or a special drop. That's a good thing to do. Same thing, interrupt the track, yes or no. And you can choose which days you want to do this event and what time of the day during that day you would like to do that. This way you choose the hour, and this way you choose the actual minute. So once this is done, you'll actually be able to choose which jingles actually go in here. So there you go. So select a jingle, select a jingle from the Yo group. You save it. You go to groups and edit. Once you have a jingle in there, you'll just type it in here, the name of the jingle, and it will pop up. Soon as it's called OK. So we go to our groups, and you'll see it pop up there. And you can choose how many you want. It'll pop up there how many jingles you want in that group. So we have like one advertiser that has a bunch of advertisements and one of them mixed up during certain times of day. It may have 3 commercials or something like that, or you want to do a promotion with a lot of different ads to it. You create a jingle group and you will schedule that, which we'll show you later how to get into the schedules. So now we created DJs, relays, and jingles. Now we can go to the schedule. When you're scheduling things, it makes everything automated. This brings the automated feature. The auto DJ in all music, which we've seen in playlists and in DJ setting with auto DJ. This right here is what usually is already playing. So we go down to what's happening today. The auto DJ is playing the same song that we have, the only song that we have loaded. And which is the 21 Savage. So we can organize it by month and see what's going on, by week, and you can isolate the day. To control this, you want to simply press new event. A new event is a new time in the schedule. You create the name of the event. It's called a Yo Radio event. You can, the event type, you can make it happen once. You can make it a repeating event. You can start it as a relay. A relay, what we went over, is a broadcast from somewhere else. You can schedule a relay to pop in anytime it wants. It can interrupt the track. You can make the color of it. You can also If you don't want to use a relay, you can also use a playlist. And it can be circular, meaning once the playlist ends, it starts over back from the top, or the playlist can play once and then it ends. It can play jingles in the middle of it, like your commercials. It can play song requests, yes or no at that time. When you're doing the relay, it doesn't give you the option to play commercials or interrupt during a track. Play commercials. It doesn't give you that option, or the jingles. So you can pick the day you want this to start. You want to start today, and then you pick the time and the date that this happens. If you do a repeating, it does give you a time that you want it to start, and it gives you the days during the week you want the event to actually start. So you want the Yo Radio event to happen all day, all the time. We want to, let's say, start from 1 o'clock. So we will add event. You will see the Yo Radio event came at that time. You do the same thing. You can edit and edit back over here. You can start your playlist from here, and you can start relays. Choose jingles. And this is how you will automate your schedule throughout the day. Anytime you don't have an event coming up or something like that, the auto DJ will automatically take over at that time. Long as this is remain active, the auto DJ will always take over on any dead air time. Next, we're going to move over to the settings. This setting is going to control the overall output of your server and your radio broadcast. It's going to give you the options of how everything is displayed and everything is controlled. So the first thing is you can show the current DJ name in a metadata. So you can show the DJ name if you want or not. Normalizing the volume. If you do MP3, it makes the volume even when tracks have higher volume and lower volume. Based on mastering, it doesn't give you the effect. It normalizes for you. Crossfade tracks. You can crossfade the tracks and how they slide into each other. You can put how many seconds and have DJ style transitions going in. So you can crossfade mode. It can fade in, it can fade out and fade right into the next one, or it can fade out and the next one starts at normal volume. The one at the top for fades out and fades in is mostly for songs, and if you're doing audio, you usually want fades out and starts normal volume when the next show starts. Avoid the same artist of the track. This is either going to be disabled. You never want to play the same artist in a row, or you can choose how many tracks before the artist is no longer can be played. Listeners track requests. You can put how fast you want the actual request to be played after 1 track, or up to 30 tracks before their actual track is played that they have requested. And we'll show you about the track requests inside the widgets. And empty playlist metadata. So when there's nothing in the playlist for some reason, this string will be displayed. You can say empty playlist, or you can say server down, or however you feel. Use static metadata. If this feature is on, the current track will always be the same on any device. If it's not, some users, based on their speed, can catch up, pausing it or having interruptions during the broadcast. This is for that. If you want everybody to be on the same track, you select that. Use static metadata. And whatever you want it to be, such as radio or the name, or just want it strictly to say your radio station, you will actually type in what you want to be displayed at all given times. Create playlists from dictionaries. If you select this, the root dictionary of any kind of music, they will automatically turn all the songs into a playlist inside of dictionaries, and it will be into a playlist automatically. So when you put songs in there, they create a playlist for you for it. And create jingles from a dictionary. It does the same thing for jingles. If you put a bunch of commercials, ads, and things in there, they will create a playlist for that. Or in this case, they will create a group instead of a playlist. And the same thing, empty DJ metadata. When a DJ, there is no data or no name inside that slot for some reason, it will say DJ online or whatever you choose. Track request metadata. When someone requests a track, there is you can show the person's name and a message. Right there, you can edit what you actually see. If you want them just to see the message, if you only want them just to see the person's name, you can edit that information using those macros right there. Here, restart server in case of emergency. That gives you the option to restart the server if something ever happens. Media file is dictionary. You're using your own dictionary at this time if you only have one station on your broadcaster account. If you get another station on your broadcaster account, you'll be able to choose which file dictionary you want to use for that station. Do you have a TuneIn account here? You will also get this TuneIn information from your TuneIn account. You will type this information here, and your station metadata will actually display on your TuneIn account. Next, we're going to move down to general settings. This general settings is your actual account information. You're using English for your layout and your interface. The email address you like to use, your statistics password, what we mentioned up top here. If you want to log into that, that's where that information is. Also to these lock things there. That's where this information it will be located. That's your statistics password. If you want to log into your FTP account, that's the host name and that's your username to log in. This is where you change your FTP password, your account password, and you can save right here. So if you know about FTP, you can things like FileZilla, you can remotely log in and dump your files in there. That's that information. That's more for advanced users. If you can't work that, those are the options for you. You can change your actual account password here also. Your billing and limits. This is based on whoever your hosting provider. Your billing and limits. Your detailed billing information to show your account limits based exactly how your account was created. Your account limits is how many radio stations you can have, the maximum listeners, the maximum bit rate, how much disk quota you have, and the traffic limit you have per month. Our website feature is not updated yet. We will actually is under construction. You can play around with the feature, but it is not up yet. It does let you do news and broadcasts. We'll be able to punch in at some time, but it's still under construction. So we're just going to skip over that and go over to our widget section. So our widget section here, we're going to go straight in and look at the players. The players that we have here, you can change the skins of the HTML players, the volume, mini version, and for it to autoplay or not to autoplay. You will simply copy and paste this HTML and paste it onto your website. Your TuneIn links for your website, you'll copy and paste here. It will paste all these at one time. Or you can do each one of these separately and paste these links anywhere you like to be in the external players of your choice. Stream status widget. You can show the DJ avatar if he has a picture or not. The DJ name, you can choose to display that. The number of listeners at one time. The current track title, you can choose to display that. Recent tracks, and you can control the size, how wide it is. Same thing, you copy and paste the HTML to your website to display this information. Your current track, you can display what current track is here. You can do the width of the widget. Do you want it to fill out the space? What this means, do you want it to be big as possible, or do you want to actually put a constraint to how big it is? The background color, the opacity, gives you the transparency, how transparent it is. The background image, you can choose the background image behind that. The track font size, the style, you can choose if you want italic or normal. Choose the color of the font. Same thing, choose the transparency of the track title. And the progress bar here, you choose the colors between those, how much is left, how much is there, how high, the height of it, how wide you want these bars. You can make them smaller or bigger. You can make it transparent, and the color of the font and the transparency of the color of the font, which is these words here. You can do a default album cover. So if it's not an album cover of the song, you can actually put a default cover here. So you simply put a picture. We'll just go with the little lady, and if we press save here, see the default cover will become that. And the image width, you can make it bigger, smaller also. And the voting buttons, you can choose if you want them there or not. The color of the buttons, the color if you like it or you dislike it, and the size. Basically show you how that works right there. Again, same thing, copy and paste this anywhere on your website to display this feature. The track request, it's going to have the same thing. You do the widget width, fill the available space, the background color, the transparency. The difference here is going to have, you can limit the number of tracks can be made by one person based on their IP address. You can do no limit, or you can do the amount of time. You can limit the number of the same tracks requested within interval. So the same track can't be requested in the same 15 minutes or any amount of hours. Same thing with the tracks. You're going to limit the width of the cell, which is this right here, how wide it's going to be. You can choose the default image, the number of tracks you want displayed, the font size, the style, the color, transparency, and you can order it by the artist name. You can order it by the track, or you want it at random. How do you want the tracks displayed below here? The buttons below, you can choose the color of the request when it's clicked and when it's not clicked right here. The font size and the font color. You can do the track request model window. If this is here, the shout out window, when they click it, they can actually write a short shout out, which we went over in the options into the settings. When they type that shout out, when they press the request button, it lets them type their name, and it lets them shout. It's going to put a thanks your radio. Now that this has been requested, you're going to see that information in the metadata that someone has shouted the track out. They can shout their friends out and things. And that's how you use that track request information right here. So we're going to move on to the message widget. This is a little more straightforward. You can, if you only want to show the listeners, you click that. If you only want to show the message, you click it. If you want to display everything, you just remove everything. Display the track requested. You can display it with message only or with listener name only. You can choose either one. Here and here again, you copy and paste the HTML. So for the major point, this is the basis of every single option we have with our interface with Carbon Caster. I hope this do help you in all the features and things that we do have here. If you have any questions, definitely do contact us at carbonwave.com. Thank you.